Hey guys, Lord Naren White here, the Holy Ghost, the one true God. Back with you with the next video in my Line of God Daily Diary series. As usual, before I discuss what I have achieved since yesterday's Daily Diary video, I want to read you a chapter from the Bible. Today it will be the book of Psalms, Psalm 61, continuing with the book of Psalms. Before I start Psalm 61, I want to discuss something from yesterday's video where the reference of Shechem occurred. I wanted to make one quick correction that it was not Simeon and Reuben who went and killed the Shechemites, it was Simeon and Levi. And I want to elaborate because Jacob said something. Jacob says after that, "You have made me basically stink along with all of these people." And then Jacob says, "We are but few in number, and they will come and surround us and slay us." And to that, Simeon and Levi say, "Should they deal with our sister like a harlot?" So you see the tension that's happening there. Jacob, even after the rape of Dinah, appears to look to try and do what's best without violence for the sake of his people moving forward without, further escalation. He knows it was wrong. And he also tries to be mature from his perspective about moving forward with as little escalation as possible. Simeon and Levi, though, you empathize with them. Why? They go and they slay the Shechemites. I'll read you the full verse, actually. It's so powerful because when you talk about Genesis 34, in the King James Version, just so powerful. So it says here, and it came, Genesis 34, 25, 26. And it came to pass on the third day, when they were sore, that two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brethren, took each in his sword, and came upon the city boldly, and slew all the males. And they slew Hamor and Shechem his son with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house, and went out. And then reading on what Jacob says in Genesis 34:30, and Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, "Ye have troubled me to make me stink among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanites and the Perizzites, and I being few in number, they shall gather themselves together against me and slay me, and I shall be destroyed, I and my house." And they said, "Should he deal with our sister as with an harlot?" So you look at that and you say, these are the tensions of the Bible. These are the tensions recorded all the way from the time of Genesis between that line from Adam through Jesus and what the tensions are that these men go through for believing in the Lord their God, and how Jesus speaks about the persecutions that will come in Mark 10:29 and 30. Jesus talks about in Matthew 16:25, "For he who shall seek to save his life shall lose it, and he who shall lose his life for my sake shall find it." You get that understanding, that perspective, how it's not always so black and white in terms of it. Now, are the commandments black and white? Yes. Is loyalty black and white? Yes. It's the circumstance I'm talking about here. Shechem rapes Dinah, and Jacob, Simeon, and Levi all have a different answer. And those are the tensions that are so powerful in Genesis that when we read the verse again from Psalm 66, "God hath spoken in his holiness, I will rejoice, I will divide Shechem." That is the reference to Shechem from the time of Genesis, and how they're grateful to God that the rape of Dinah did not go unanswered. And so, from there, we will now continue here with the book of Psalms, starting with Psalm 61. To the chief musician upon Negina, a psalm of David. Hear my cry, O God, attend unto my prayer. From the end of the earth will I cry unto thee. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For thou hast been a shelter for me, and a strong tower from the enemy. I will abide in thy tabernacle forever. I will trust in the covert of thy wings, Selah. For thou, O God, hast heard my vows. Thou hast given me the heritage of those that fear thy name. Thou wilt prolong the king's life, and his years as many generations. He shall abide before God forever. O prepare mercy and truth, which may preserve him. So will I sing praise unto thy name forever, that I may daily perform my vows. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. I just want to add a caveat, by the way, to my analysis of the passage with Shechem. The Shechem, the land I believe where Shechem hailed from in the Bible, is a city west of Jordan, and this very well could refer to God's um, promise to give the land of Canaan to the Israelites, that this will be, that Israel will be their home. And I understand that that doesn't directly refer to this story from Genesis, that interpretation of this chapter, which actually makes a lot of sense, because it says, and mete out the valley of Succoth, which is another understanding. I more look at it like that is yet another example, where the Shechemites trouble them no more, because this was part of the history of what troubled them so much about the Shechemites, and because of God, the Shechemites trouble them no more. And that is something that is really powerful. And I just wanted to mention that because this deals with the primary interpretation of this will be that God promises the land of Canaan to the Israelites. And then I just mentioned that the Shechemites did cause problem to the Israelites a long time ago. And it was God who delivered them out of those troubles. Or I should say, to God be the glory for delivering them out, either way. And so with that, I want to go ahead now, and I want to transition over to what I have achieved since yesterday's Daily Dive video. Since yesterday's Daily Dive video, I worked my software developer job. I've created this Daily Dive video for 7/18/23. Other than that, in the remaining time in this video, I wanted to speak about something that's been bringing me a lot of joy recently, and that is the imminent release of Baldur's Gate 3, a dungeon RPG game, a D&D style RPG game from one of my favorite game studios out today, Larian Studios. Recently, Larian released a panel, their last panel from Hell, where they talked about all the updates for Baldur's Gate 3. And I was so excited to see their founder and leader, Sven Vinka, along with many of the other team members, names like Adam and Nick come to mind. And that, I think, is just so amazing. Why? Because they are actually going to release the game a bit earlier on PC on August 3rd, which is just a few weeks away. And I'm so excited because after playing Divinity Original Sin 2, I believe Larian's last release, and for me, one of the best games I've ever played. I have it as my 5th best game ever played. I believe Baldur's Gate 3 will be better than Divinity Original Sin 2, and as a result, who knows just how great of a game it will be. This could very well be one of the greatest games I've ever played, and I'm so excited because everything from the art style to the voice acting, which has many top-notch famous celebrity voice actors. You have just to name some names. You have J.K. Simmons. So if you're wondering who J.K. Simmons is, he's a very famous actor in the history of Hollywood. Some of his most famous roles are as J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man. Then you also have Matthew Mercer, the leader of Critical Role. He's going to act as one of the characters as well. And this is among a stacked crew of voice actors. So, in addition to the art style, the voice acting, I believe they're going to bring an amazing story, and the gameplay looks like it'll be so good. A true adaptation of D&D 5th edition, and the potential for how great Baldur's Gate 3 is. To give you a perspective, I spent a long time playing DOS 2, and so I'm expecting to spend an even longer time playing Baldur's Gate 3, multiple playthroughs probably, super hard difficulty. I love high difficulty. I love the challenge of the game, and that's something that's been really exciting for me, is that chance to get immersed in a new world, and in this case the world created by Larian Studios, one of my favorite game developer companies. And so with that, I want to go ahead and say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, as it greatly helps the channel. Like to be with you all. Take care, and thanks again.